Hi everybody, it's Christina and thank you for joining me. So over the past few videos we've been using parchment and we've used it in a variety of ways, but today we're going to foil some parchment and we're going to get this beautiful look on our cards quite easily, and you don't need a hot machine to do it. So for this technique you need some white card, you need a stencil, and you need some Decofoil Transfer Gel Duo, and it's the duo that's important. You can use this with a heat machine or without one. I've also got some Decofoil that will go with it. So we're going to make a beautiful background for one of our cards using these products. So I've taped a piece of white card to my glass mat, and on the top of that I'm going to add my piece of parchment. And then to the top of that you can use any stencil that you've got. I'm going to add my stencil. I'm also going to tape that in place so that it can't move. Now I've got a decorator's spreader and this will just spread my duo gel over my card. So I'm going to take the duo gel, I'm going to pop some of it onto my spreader, and then with that spreader I'm going to add the duo gel to my parchment. Scrape off the excess with your lolly stick and pop it back into your tub. But these need to be washed and your stencil. So very carefully take your stencil off and pop it in some water and give it a quick wash. And that needs to be left now to dry. So keeping that taped to your card will keep the parchment flat, and once it's dry this is what you will have. So now we can remove this tape. Once you have this, and I've used a different pattern on this and I left this overnight to dry. So these are the two colours of foil that I want to use. So I'm going to use pink and green. So all we need to do is take a piece of our pink foil and make sure it's only one sheet, and you're going to lay that down on the top. Now inside the green packet I found some gold, and so I'm going to use that instead of the green. So we'll just pop this down onto our gel. Make sure it's nice and flat, and then we can run that through the die cutting machine. So once they've been through your machine you can remove the foil, and there you have a beautiful pattern on your parchment that's now ready to add to your cards. Don't throw these away, you can always add these to a toner sheet to create another background for you. Now once this has been die cut or trimmed down, that's going to make some beautiful toppers to our cards. And these are two other colours that I've used. This is opal and this is on the clear heavy duty parchment, and this is blue. So any one of those now can be added to your cards. Now parchment is notorious for showing through any adhesives that you put on the back. So the way that I choose to stick it is to use an adhesive sheet, and all I'm going to do is just pop that on the back. Now once that's on there, that means I can trim that down, I can die cut it to any shape that I want, I can use any portion of it, and that will work beautifully on my project. So once you've chosen the shape that you want your parchment piece to be and you've cut it out, don't throw the bits away that are left. You can always use these on another card. You can cut them down into thinner strips and use them on another design. So for this one now I'm going to use a stitched edge. I'm going to place it on the piece of the parchment that I want to use, and I'm going to die cut that out. So these are the two panels that I'm going to use that have been foiled with the duo gel, and these are my cards. These are 5x7 top folded base cards. Now for each one I've created a mat that will sit on the front, and these mats are going to go through an embossing folder. So for this one I've cut myself a pink mat and I've reduced the size down to an A6. So I've got a pink mat, I have a white mat, and that piece is going to sit on the top. Now for this one I have my embossed mat there, and for this I'm going to take this across the corner and have it like that. So with the bits that I've cut off this, I've added them to another card, and from some gold card I've just cut some strips. One's going to go along there and the others are going to go along here, and that will leave me just a panel in the centre to add a sentiment, and I can put a sentiment at the bottom of this one. So for each of my cards I finish them off with bits and pieces that I've found on my desk. So I've used a butterfly there with parchment wings. That's been added to a parchment piece underneath, and I'm going to glue this in place. This is a thank you set, and I've cut it several times, 4 times in white and once in gold, and that's going to sit on the front of my card. This one has a sentiment from another collection, and I've put some tiny gold hearts on it. This one has used a flower, and again I've put a parchment design behind it, a sentiment from a previous set, and I've used the opal leaves that I did when I did this other panel. So the items that I've used to create these cards have been the heavyweight parchment, the double-sided sticky sheets, the Transfer Gel Duo and Decofoil. These are the other 2 cards that I've created from the same ingredients. So I hope you've enjoyed the video, and if you have, please join me on the next one, and why not subscribe to my channel, click the notification bell, then you'll always be aware when I add a new video. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.